When I talked about people digging holes and filling them, that was an absurdist argument made by Keynes that was better than nothing. But I mean, in reality, I think what we should be doing, and I think that any Keynesian would argue, is that spending should be spent on things that we can treat basically as an investment. It was done. Eisenhower did it with the interstate system. But we have things that haven't been touched in decades. Our power grid, is still based in technology from the 20s. Our internet, could be expanded throughout the country. Those are the infrastructure projects I think we should be spending on. Things like education, green energy, wind, solar, geothermal. These are things that have lasting impacts. So we can spend a lot of money on now, put a lot of people to work in a lot of different ways. That is much more stimulative and provides a much longer benefit than someone digging a hole and putting a jar and having somebody dig back up. I don't think that a lot of people want or really care that we have a big government. I think what people want is a working government, and that as long as the government is doing what it says, that it's paying its bills, being responsible, that's what people want out of government. And so if people pay a little, so the rich pay a little bit more, so we can provide these things, go back up to 39.6%. That in an effort to, in a way that only affects a small amount of people. I think a lot of people are for that. Warren Buffett has come out and say, yes, tax me more because I don't pay enough in taxes. His secretary pays a higher tax rate than he does, which is kind of ridiculous. But back to Reagan, you made the point about his debt. Since the debt total from 1981, there was a graph I pulled off here from TreasuryDirect.gov. It was about 40% of the debt since 1981 was from Ronald Reagan. 2/3 of all of our debt since 1981 is from Republican presidents. This philosophy of deregulation and cutting taxes has led to consistent deficits and a growing debt. I'm sorry.
War.
And a lot of war. It's things that these are not benefits to our economy. It's very small number of people that have grown. As another article I have sitting up here from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, the tax rate for the richest 400 taxpayers has dropped over the last 40 years, but their incomes have skyrocketed. People make billions of dollars and they're still paying the same 35%. The top 25 hedge fund managers last year made $1 billion each. It's 25 people making $1 billion each, and yet they still pay at a much lower rate because they're able to avoid taxes, use multiple tax shelters. So we talk about what we could do. That's these high tax rates. There's only a few people they affect. Let's put them at a much higher rate. I don't know, 93% is the way to go under Eisenhower, but certainly when someone makes $1 billion a year, they could be taxed higher than 39%.